Hey, what's up, Reefers? Today we have a multi-parts video. A lot of updates crammed into one. For all my reef hobbyists, today we're gonna visit my reef sensei Jim, Telegram on Instagram. So he has been rescuing a lot of my corals that were struggling, and all of them have been doing fantastic in his system. So today we're gonna revisit all these old corals and see how they're doing now. For the second part of the video, I'm gonna take you to my local fish store, House of Tropicals, to go shopping. Third part of the video, I'm gonna do an update on all my planted tank. That includes the Axolotl planted tank as well as the 9-gallon planted tank. And before we moved on, I wanna give a shout out to my friends at the Reef Tees. Look at this shirt. And the reason I'm wearing this Storm Clown shirt is because I'm trying to find a clownfish for my 10-gallon budget tank. Big changes is coming to the tank. I'm about to turn that into a... And before I let you go, I want to show you one last thing. Yep, that's it. If you want to know what it is, stay tuned. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Flashback.
Hey, what's up, Reefers? This one gutted me because this coral is special to me, and I'm talking about none other than the Space Invader Pectinia. It's been doing well, and then a couple things happened, one after another, unfortunately. That speaks volume to my ability as a reef keeper to a certain extent. As you can see, the part that is still healthy seems to be doing well with stingers still trying to fight the neighbors. But the bottom part is definitely receding. I talked to Jim, and he agreed to take him in again, see if he can work his magic one more time to kind of bring this coral back. You know, I remember doing a similar video maybe 2 or 3 years ago, taking a Space Invader Pectinia frag, about the same size actually, over to Telegram's house, so it looks like we've come full circle.
1 hour later.
Today, I'm enlisting the help of my reef sensei, Jim, Telegram on Instagram to help, but I thought it would be also interesting to see some of the corals that he has been helping me save. So let's take a look. But first, Jim, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on over here?
Yep, sure can. So in the other room, you saw that's a 45-gallon cube, but that wasn't enough water, so we added a 40-gallon breeder to it and a little 5.5 fuge up at the top here.
Awesome. Well, it's like Harry Potter right underneath the staircase right here, right? But let's take a look at some of the corals that Jim has helped rescue and where they are now. So where shall we start, Jim?
You can start with the Elegance.
All right, so here's Elegance coral, and I know this coral has been like struggling in the back of my tank. How long has it been here?
It's been 3 or 4 months here, I suppose. Lived in the display tank for a while. It started getting shaded, so we moved in here. It seems happy.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Smokey had some problems with alkalinity. Wasn't that black in the black bucket days?
I think so, yes. Yes.
So the 24K lepto is sitting back there a little bit. There's a little frag of it, you can see it. Another of his, and his weren't doing bad in his tank, but man, I really like those mushrooms, so he took care of me.
Yeah, those mushrooms got huge in Jim's tank, by the way. You can't really see the sense of scales here, but it's roughly 4.5 inches or so diameter to the right one. It got large and really colored up. And that's one thing that's unique about Jim's setup. It seems like everything that he put in the tank just thrives and color up so well.
Something I need to address real quick, speaking of not thriving, is that highlighter stag. I had a problem with my lights where they would turn on full power, and I don't know if it was static or a grounding issue or what have you, but information online told me to turn off the buttons on top of the XR30s. These are Gen 2s, and that did the trick. So hopefully that stag will come back. I have a smaller piece of it over here. You see it down there, and it's very bright, so hopefully it'll be okay. Certainly not having a problem in Moki's tank, but that bubble tip anemone was the little baby one that I think you had in the drop-off tank.
That was
right?
tiny, yes.
We moved it in here, and it seems really happy.
Oh man, this is a nice view. Look at that. What a giant. The color is fantastic. The color is so beautiful here. Man. All right, well, shall we swing out?
Yep.
Take a look at the display. Let's go.
Purple tip frog spawn. That's how we met. There's this little green guy I got from you, I think.
Yes, sir. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Like Etheropora? I know it's not a Ganipora. It's Etheropora, I think.
It has done well in there. It shrinks back a little bit, but then it grows back and it's fine. There's also one in a frag tank, but it keeps getting stung by that anemone. So I'll move that out of the way. And then right behind that is the Space Invader.
Oh man, that got huge.
Meanwhile.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm at my local fish store, House of Tropical today, and I'm super excited. Supposedly they started selling the Reefer floater. But before that, also check out these little dwarf rainbow fish. I really want to get some of these for the 9-gallon tank. I'm having trouble finding them. Guys, check out this giant. What the heck? This is humongous. Is it like a commerson or something like that? It's a extra large black rockfish. Pretty nondescript. It's a little bit smaller than football. I know they get a little bit larger, but this is the largest I've ever seen in the store. This is impressive. I would like to keep a species-only tank for this guy. The hunt is finally over. Found some red root floater. Thank you, sir. Nice. Oh, they look awesome. Then check out these water sprite. Man, I think these will go really well into 40 breeders. Axolotl don't like light. I think like this will help block out some of the light as well, so it'll create a section. Maybe I just kind of use a wire to let them float to one section of the tank, and I think that'll look really nice. So what are we doing here?
I'm gonna feed the fucker some snails.
Nice. Look at the little guy. Oh. No hesitation, huh? Cool little dude.
He loves your camera.
I see the reflection of it. So for carpeting plants, we're trying to do some on colors. We're gonna try one first, and we'll see how it does.
Definitely one of my favorites.
Nice.
Let's see if I can fit it in there without messing anybody else.
Check it out. This is like the cutest little guys. We got these pygmy cory cats. We'll pick up a small group here for the plant in the tank. Help keep the bottom clean. Look at these little dudes. Can you even see it? Alright guys, finally done. Today, it's all about freshwater plants. Look at all these, all freshwater. On the way out, we got to see tiny, giant gourami is what? Can be lifted from 35 when he's 18. Yep, 18 years old. Look at this little guy. But the cool thing is, check out his lips. He got lips. Finally done with House of Tropicals. They're here way longer than expected. Was in there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Huge thanks to the people who are here to help me out. I think like Alex, Curtis, to name a few, and a lot of the other regular guys. Thanks for helping answer my newbie questions. But whoever tells you freshwater is cheaper than saltwater may be lying. Today I spent close to $100 just on plants and a couple fish. But good stuff.
Several months later.
Alright, Reefers, it has been about 3 to 4 months since we've picked up all those plants from House of Tropical. And today I want to share with you guys how they have done in the last couple of months. So first thing first, say hi to the axolotl right here. She is nice, big, fat, and happy. She is the friendliest of the two, always front and center, ready to hang out. Versus the other one, you can kind of see her behind the log, but she's the more reclusive one. Out of the 7 white cloud minnows, I think only 3 or 4 remain, and the other amber tetra is still here to stay as well. They're a little bit harder to find out, all these plants being overgrown, but for the most part, they have been doing really well. Now, since we're talking about the livestock in this tank, we're gonna talk about the white cloud minnow. Originally, we got about 7 white cloud minnows. It has really dwindled down to 3, as well as the solo amber tetra that remained from almost a year ago. Now that is because like once in a while the axolotls are able to get their little paws on those white cloud minnows and snack on them, but from the beginning these are supposed to be disposable tank mates, so that was to be expected. The white cloud minnows are pretty much perfect tank mates for axolotl because they all prefer colder water. And the white clouds do not pick at the axolotl's gills, and they do not have sharp spines. So when the axolotls do eventually catch them, it's pretty much just a nice snack, and there's a really rare chance of damaging to catching those fish. Now with that said, let's take a look at the plants that I picked up a couple months back. As you can see, the floating plants has been doing extremely well, and I'm most happy with the red root floaters. And let's take a look at the roots. Look at this. So the roots turn red when there's more iron in the water, from what I understand. So as you can see, the water is pretty rich in terms of nutrients. And the red root floater looks fantastic. These look much better than the duckweeds, and they provide really nice foreground floating plants, especially to a deeper tank like this. In the back, I have those water sprite, and these water sprite actually get pretty large. Let me see if we can bring a chunk out. Look at the roots of these. These got long, and they also have like moss grown on it, so it really gives that nice little jungle look. So if you kind of look down from under the water, you see them all dangling, reaching to halfway down the tank. And I really feel that it adds a lot more to the tank, so it kind of connects the water surface to the bottom. And this also works out really well because I want to clear out the bottom portion so the axolotl has space to run around, and this is perfect. All the plants, the nutrient export is up top, and they also serve a shade from the light. Now moving over here, we got some of the stem plants. The swords, it's doing okay. Some of the leaves is melting. Some of the leaves do have algae growing on there. And I think the one in the back is the ember sword, I think. A different variation of sword that is doing a little bit better than the standard Amazon compact swords. And we got one that got uprooted actually really recently. I just replanted that over here, but it got knocked up, so I'll have to stick it back there. And surprisingly, you think that the stem plants would get uprooted all the time, but I just see something like this maybe once a week or so. There's a long stretch of time that nothing got uprooted, but I think right now the axolotl may be a little hungry, so they're kind of running around a little bit more. Anubias are doing okay. They haven't really spread that much, but they're kind of holding steady. But as you can see, I do have some excess algae growth. And down there, I forgot the exact name of these two plants right here, but for the most part, they have been holding steady. No issue here, but it has not really spread, so it's just kind of doing okay. I think it's repents or something like that. I pulled from the 9-gallon tank as a test to see how they do in the 45 with the colder water, and they seems to be doing okay. The leaves turn yellow slightly, and it's not really growing much, but it's not terrible. They're holding steady, so I may move some more over here to try. The Monte Carlo is a lost cause. I planted a lot of Monte Carlos along the way, as well as I think it's the micro sword. I think it's either micro sword. I think it's micro sword actually. But as you can see, they're just not doing well at all, and I'm probably just gonna forget about it. And one big question I had is, are these substrates safe for axolotl? And it has been a while, and I'm pretty sure they're good. I don't see an issue. Even if they accidentally inject some of these substrate, these are the contour soil, they really easily expel them. And I have not seen any sign of constipation, so I believe they should be alright. One bonus plant I got is the pothos right here. This is the standard house plants that you see all over the place, but I have them growing out of the hang out the back aqua clear. I think this is the aqua clear, either 20 or 30, probably the 30. And as you can see in the back, the root has really grown long. And I want this for nutrient exports because axolotl are a pretty dirty animal. I try my best to do water change, but on the days that I don't, I'm relying on the plants as nutrient exports. And of course, that's also one of the reasons why the floating plants are doing so well, because the water is pretty nutrient rich, and usually I just kind of rip out the plants and either give them away or just toss them in the trash. But I do my best in terms of keeping the tank clean. Okay, so this is the 40-gallon breeder tank for the axolotl. Let's hop on over to the 9-gallon planted tank so we can take a look at the rest of the plants that I got. Alright guys, here's my guilty pleasure, the 9-gallon planted tank. Now this tank probably looks quite different since the last time you've seen it. Instead of like a carpeting plant, I went with almost like a jungly look. So I've been experimenting with a lot of different kind of plants with this tank, but recently went through a lot of issues with imbalance because the CO2 ran out for about 3 or 4 weeks. So the plant has really stunted and the algae simply just took over. Things are just slowly coming back into balance right now. And to help out, I have enlisted the help of these Siamese algae eaters. Now these fish would get too large for this tank, so these guys are just in here temporarily. The idea is that after they polish off the algae, I'm going to give them away to local aquarium keepers or back to the fish store they go. Now the plants that I picked up earlier in this video are these red roof floaters, and these are doing really well. Now, I usually monitor the roots to kind of get a sense of how well the tank is doing in terms of fertilizing. You'll see some of these roots are kind of really brown. They're not so red, so that tells me that maybe I want to dose a little bit more. But again, the tank is slowly coming back into balance, so I'm trying to just go easy on it. And another really cool thing about this tank is all these red cherry shrimps. Look at all these cherry shrimps. They all started with 5. So I have 5 of these guys and they just started exploding, which is fantastic. Now, speaking of red roof floaters, take a look over here. You see this bucket right here? These are all red roof floaters that came out of this tank. Basically, right before I went to Mexico for a week, I got maybe half tank full of red roof floaters, and after I came back, it's completely full. I was like, oh my god, what happened? And I started pulling them out, and the more I pulled out, the more it just seems to appear out of nowhere, and next thing I know, I actually had 2 buckets of those. I already gave away one of them, so there's another bucket. And I think once weather's a little bit nicer outside, I may do a little pond outside or something like that. But for the most part, this 9-gallon tank is kind of recovering from the neglect and from the lack of CO2 and slowly coming back into balance. So right now it's not in the best of shape. So once it's a little bit better looking, I guess maybe I'll do maybe a video on just what I've learned in terms of planting the tank so far. I've had a lot of help along the way. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if so, be sure to leave a like on the way out so I know that you've been here, I know that you enjoy the content, so I know what kind of content I should keep creating. With that said though, I will see you guys next Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Later. I was like, what is that? You see on the green Monty right there, that little speck?